For ACUSports.com, I'm Grant Boone with head women's basketball coach Julie Goodenough in the Merrill Center in Katy, Texas, where the Wildcats now know their second-round opponent in the Southland Conference tournament. Coach, you played Central Arkansas 3 times last year. You're going to play them 3 times this year. 2-0 so far this year. We saw another episode of the Camry Orr Show. You saw that in Abilene. When you think about Central Arkansas, what a rivalry this has been.
Absolutely. Coach Rushing does a phenomenal job as a defensive coach, and then she's got one of the most explosive offensive players in Camry Orr, so that's a good combination for them. But it was really fun to watch this live, and I think it was good for our players, you know, to kind of get to see how we put a scout together, and we'll get to talk about that as a team later on and have a practice. But we're excited. We're excited about playing Central Arkansas again.
Camry Orr went for 29 in a victory over Sam Houston State that just ended moments ago. Let's talk a subtle difference perhaps, but a big one. Most nights during a season, you're scouting off of film. In a tournament, you can live scout, meaning you can actually go to the game. You can't do that the rest of the year. Even if you have an off night, you can't send a coach, for example, to go watch another team play that you're about to play. How different is that for a coach?
It's really fun. You know, I was sitting courtside, so I'm eye level, and I got to see all of Coach Rushing's expressions throughout the course of the game. This was a great game, heated battle, and honestly, that's the kind of game that you want for your next opponent. You want them to have to go through that kind of a battle to come out the other end, and both teams played extremely well. You know, it's tied after 2. UCA's down 1 going into the 4th, so great battle for them. But it was fun to see it live. You know, we could have just shared the score with our players, and you know, the score wouldn't have really meant anything, but they got to see the runs that both teams went on. They got to see in person the set plays that we'll talk about this afternoon that UCA is very effective running, and so a huge advantage to be able to watch somebody live.
Okay, here's another possible advantage. When you played New Orleans in the first round last year, you hadn't seen them since the first week of January.
Yeah.
You saw Central Arkansas in person at their place 2 weeks ago and got a very impressive victory. You got the buzzer beater from Maddie Miller, off the feed from Brianna Wright. So give me just the scouting report. You just told us about Camry Orr, but they've got some good pieces around her, don't they?
You know, all the years we've been in the Southland, Central Arkansas has defended us a little bit different than most other teams. They're going to be out in hard deny on the perimeter. They're going to make it very difficult for us to get open looks from the three-point line, and that was not what they did tonight. You know, it's a very team-specific scout. So, you know, we can expect a lot of pressure. They're going to make it difficult for us to get the three-point shots off, so we have got to be effective scoring in the paint. I think a huge mismatch will be our post players against their post players. They're playing a little bit short-handed. They played a small lineup for the majority of the game tonight. I feel like if we can get the ball in the paint to our posts are going to be very effective for us offensively. Give us,
Wildcat fans, an idea of what will be your schedule for the rest of the day and then an early morning tomorrow.
Yeah, we're headed to lunch right now. We've got a team meeting at 3 and practice at 4, and you know, we'll meet again tonight after dinner about 8 o'clock to watch some more video on Central Arkansas, and we'll be back in this building at 9:30 tomorrow morning. We hope to see a lot of ACU fans donning their purple at 11 o'clock tomorrow.
And any ACU student gets into the Merrill Center for free if you show your student ID, so come out and support the Wildcats. ACU and Central Arkansas in a second-round Southland Conference tournament game. 11 a.m. tip time. You can hear the broadcast on 98.1 FM The Ticket.